Welcome to this English learning video. Today we will share the amazing story of Muhammad Ali, a champion in the ring and in life. As you listen, you will improve your English and learn about courage, faith, and never giving up. If you enjoy this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more easy English stories. Now, let's begin the journey of the greatest, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali was not always a famous boxer. He was born as Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. on January 17, 1942, in Louisville, Kentucky, USA. He grew up in a poor African-American family during a time when racism was very strong in America. Life was not easy for him and his family. His father, Cassius Clay Sr., was a painter who made signs and billboards. His mother, Odessa Clay, worked as a housemaid. They did not make much money. The Clay family lived in a small house and sometimes struggled to pay for basic things. As a child, young Cassius saw how unfair the world was. African Americans had fewer rights than white people. They were often treated badly and not given the same chances. When Cassius was only 12 years old, something important happened. His bike was stolen. He was very upset and told a police officer, Joe Martin, that he wanted to beat up the person who took it. The officer told him, "You better learn how to box first." That moment changed his life. Joe Martin was not just a police officer. He was also a boxing coach. He started training young Cassius in boxing. Cassius was fast and strong. He also had great confidence and talked like a champion, even before he became one. But it wasn't easy. He trained every day, waking up early, running and practicing punches for hours. People laughed at him when he said he would be the greatest boxer of all time, but he believed it deeply. At school, Cassius had trouble with reading. Some people said he was not smart, but he was smart in other ways. He remembered everything his coaches told him. He understood boxing like a scientist. He knew how to move, how to avoid getting hit, and how to make his opponents tired. Even as he became better at boxing, racism still followed him. He was not allowed to eat at the same restaurants as white people. He had to use different bathrooms and sit in the back of buses. These things made him angry, but he used that anger to push himself harder in the boxing ring. By the time he was a teenager, he had won many local boxing matches. People started to notice him. He had speed, style, and strong self-belief. But this was just the beginning of his journey. Cassius Clay continued to train hard as a teenager. His dream was big. He wanted to be the best boxer in the world. He didn't just fight with his fists, he also fought with his words. He said, "I'm going to show you how great I am." People laughed at first, but he kept winning fights. By the age of 18, he was one of the best young boxers in the United States. In 1960, he got a chance to prove himself to the world. He was chosen to represent the USA in the Rome Olympic Games. This was his first time traveling far from home. It was exciting, but also scary. He had never flown in an airplane before and was afraid of flying. He even brought a parachute with him on the plane. In Rome, Cassius fought boxers from other countries. He was quick and smart in the ring. He used his speed to stay away from punches and strike back with fast jabs. Fight after fight, he won. In the final match, he beat a tough Polish boxer and won the gold medal in the light heavyweight division. He was now an Olympic champion. Winning the gold medal was a proud moment for Cassius. He thought this would mean he would be respected at home. But when he came back to Louisville, he was still treated unfairly because he was black. In fact, one story says that when a restaurant refused to serve him because of his race, he threw his gold medal into a river. Some say this may not be true, but it shows how deeply he felt the pain of racism. After the Olympics, Cassius Clay decided to become a professional boxer. He worked even harder. He trained for hours every day. He also talked a lot. He said things like, "I'm pretty, I'm fast, and I can't be beat." Some people didn't like his loud style, but others loved his confidence. He was different. He made boxing exciting. Cassius was not only training his body, but also his mind. He studied his opponents carefully. He said, "If you even dream of beating me, you better wake up and apologize." He made boxing into a show, and people couldn't stop watching. During this time, he was also learning about the world and asking deep questions. He started listening to new ideas, especially from a group called the Nation of Islam. This would later play a big role in his life. But for now, Cassius Clay was focused on one thing: becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. That meant he had to fight the toughest man in boxing, Sonny Liston. Most people thought Cassius didn't stand a chance. In the next part, we'll see how he faced that challenge and how he shocked the world. By the early 1960s, Cassius Clay had become a well-known name in boxing. He was young, fast, and full of energy, but he was also loud and proud, which made many people dislike him. He would often say, "I am the greatest," even before he had proved it. Still, he kept winning fight after fight. His next goal was the World Heavyweight Championship, the biggest prize in boxing. But to win it, he had to face Sonny Liston, the champion at the time. Sonny Liston was scary. He was big, strong, and had knocked out many opponents quickly. Most people thought Cassius had no chance. The newspapers said he would get hurt. Some even said he might be killed in the ring. Cassius didn't care. He believed in himself more than anyone else. He kept talking, making jokes, and telling everyone he would beat Liston. He called Liston a big ugly bear and promised to float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. On February 25th, 1964, the big fight took place in Miami, Florida. At the start, people thought Cassius was just running around, but that was his plan. He used his speed and didn't let Liston hit him. By the 6th round, Liston looked tired. He couldn't catch Cassius. Then something strange happened. Liston didn't come out for round 7. He said his shoulder was hurt. The fight was over. Cassius Clay had won. The world was shocked. Cassius Clay had done the impossible. After the fight, he shouted, "I shook up the world." He had proven he was more than just talk. He was the new heavyweight champion of the world at just 22 years old. But the surprises didn't stop there. The day after the fight, Cassius Clay made an announcement. He told the world that he had joined the Nation of Islam, a religious group that taught black pride and independence. He also said he would no longer use his slave name. He had a new name now, Muhammad Ali. Many people didn't like this. Some refused to call him Muhammad Ali. They said he was being disrespectful. But Ali stood strong. He said, "I know where I'm going and I know the truth." He believed in freedom, not just in the ring, but in life. This moment changed everything. Muhammad Ali was now a champion, not only in boxing, but also in the fight for identity, faith, and equality. He had reached the top, but his journey was far from over. After Muhammad Ali became the heavyweight champion, he was more famous than ever. But his life was not just about boxing anymore. He had joined the Nation of Islam and changed his name from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali. This made many people angry. Some fans left him. Many newspapers and TV shows still called him Cassius Clay, refusing to respect his new name. But Ali didn't change who he was. He was proud of his beliefs and proud to be black. He often spoke about freedom, equality, and faith. He believed that African Americans should be treated with respect, just like everyone else. Then, something happened that would change his life again. In 1967, the U.S. government told Ali he had to join the army and go fight in the Vietnam War. At that time, many young American men were being sent to fight in Vietnam. But Ali said no. He refused to go. He said, "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong. No Viet Cong ever called me a racial slur." This made headlines all over the world. People were shocked. Some called him a hero. Others called him a traitor. But Ali explained that his religion, Islam, did not allow him to go to war. He also said it was wrong to ask black men to fight for a country that didn't give them equal rights. Because of his choice, the U.S. government punished him. He was arrested, fined, and stripped of his boxing title. He was banned from boxing for over 3 years, from age 25 to 28, the best years of most athletes' lives. Ali lost millions of dollars and could not fight in the ring, but he stood strong. He said, "I would rather go to jail than betray my beliefs." He spent those years giving speeches at colleges and rallies. He talked about peace, justice, and staying true to yourself. He became more than a boxer. He became a symbol of courage. Finally, in 1971, the U.S. Supreme Court made a decision. Ali was right. His conviction was overturned, and he was free to fight again. But coming back after 3 years away was not easy. People wondered if he was still the greatest. He had missed important time. And now there were new champions in boxing. Ali was ready to prove himself again. He had lost time, but not his spirit. After more than 3 years away from boxing, Muhammad Ali was finally allowed to return to the ring. It was 1970. He was older now and had missed some of his best fighting years, but he was still confident. He believed he was the greatest and wanted to prove it once again. In his first few fights back, Ali showed that he still had skill. He was a little slower than before, but his mind was sharp. He beat Jerry Corey and Oscar Bonavena, 2 strong fighters. The public was excited. Everyone wanted to see Ali face the new heavyweight champion, Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier was strong, quiet, and serious. He had won the Olympic gold medal in 1964 and had become the heavyweight champion while Ali was banned from boxing. Now the stage was set. 2 undefeated fighters, both claiming to be the best. The big fight was scheduled for March 8, 1971, at Madison Square Garden in New York City. It was called the Fight of the Century. The world was watching. Tickets sold out fast. Millions of people watched it on TV and listened on the radio. Before the fight, Ali used his words like always. He called Frazier names and said he was too slow and too ugly to beat him. Frazier didn't like that. He stayed quiet, but he trained hard. Both men wanted to win, not just for the title, but for pride. The fight was tough. It lasted all 15 rounds. Ali started strong, using his speed and movement. But Frazier kept coming forward, throwing powerful punches. He hit Ali with hard shots to the body and head. In round 15, Frazier landed a big left hook that knocked Ali down. It was the first time Ali had ever been knocked down in his career. Ali got up and finished the fight, but the judges gave the win to Joe Frazier. Ali had lost for the first time. Over the next few years, Ali kept fighting. He won most of his matches and stayed popular with fans. People started to respect him not only as a boxer, but as a brave man who had stood up for his beliefs. Ali and Frazier would meet again, not once, but 2 more times. Their second fight was in 1974, and Ali won by decision. The third fight would come later, and it would become one of the most famous battles in boxing history. Ali was now on a mission. He wanted to win back the heavyweight title, but to do that, he would have to face another champion, the powerful George Foreman. By 1974, Muhammad Ali had made a strong comeback. He had beaten many good fighters, including Joe Frazier in their second fight. But he still wasn't the champion. The new heavyweight champion was George Foreman, a big, strong man who had knocked out both Joe Frazier and Ken Norton in just 2 rounds each. People thought Foreman was unbeatable. Ali believed he could win. He said, "I've done something new for this fight. I've wrestled with an alligator. I've tussled with a whale." He made jokes and poems, but deep inside, he was serious. He wanted to prove to the world that he was still the greatest. The fight was planned in a very special place, Kinshasa, Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of the Congo, in Africa. It was called the Rumble in the Jungle. Ali was happy to fight in Africa. The African people loved him. They cheered for him and chanted, "Ali Bomaye," which means Ali, kill him in their language. It gave Ali strength and pride. Most boxing experts thought Ali would lose. Foreman was younger, stronger, and had a harder punch. But Ali had a secret plan. The fight took place on October 30th, 1974, at 4 a.m., so people in the U.S. could watch it live on TV. When the fight started, Ali surprised everyone. Instead of dancing around the ring, he leaned on the ropes and let Foreman hit him. This was called the rope-a-dope strategy. Ali blocked many of the punches and kept saying things to Foreman like, "Is that all you got?" Round after round, Foreman threw big punches, but he was getting tired. Ali waited patiently. He used small jabs and stayed calm. In round 8, Ali saw his chance. He hit Foreman with a quick combination, a right punch to the face, and Foreman fell to the ground. The world was shocked. The referee counted to 10. Muhammad Ali had won. He was the heavyweight champion of the world once again. Reporters called it one of the greatest fights in boxing history. Ali had beaten the man no one thought he could beat. After the fight, Ali shouted to the crowd, "I'm the king of the world. I'm the greatest." It was more than just a win. It was a moment of joy and pride for millions of people around the world, especially in Africa and among African Americans. At 32 years old, many thought this would be Ali's last great moment. But he wasn't done yet. Another big fight was coming, a final battle with Joe Frazier, in what would become their most brutal and unforgettable match. After winning the Rumble in the Jungle, Muhammad Ali was back on top. He was the heavyweight champion of the world again. But one important chapter was not yet closed: his rivalry with Joe Frazier. Ali and Frazier had fought twice before. Frazier won the first fight in 1971, and Ali won the second in 1974. Now, it was time for their third and final battle. This fight would decide who was truly the better man. It was called the Thrilla in Manila because it took place in Manila, the capital of the Philippines. On October 1st, 1975, the fight was one of the toughest and most brutal in boxing history. Before the fight, Ali used his usual mind games. He called Frazier names like the gorilla and made fun of him in front of cameras. Frazier was angry and he trained hard. This time, it wasn't just about boxing, it was personal. The weather in Manila was extremely hot and humid. Inside the arena, the temperature was over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, about 38 degrees Celsius. Both fighters were sweating and struggling to breathe, but neither man gave up. From the first round, the fight was fierce. Ali started strong, using fast jabs and moving around the ring. But Frazier kept coming forward, throwing heavy punches to Ali's body and head. The two men hit each other with everything they had. Ali later said, "It was the closest thing to dying that I know. That's how hard the fight was." By the middle rounds, Frazier's face was badly swollen, but he kept attacking. Ali looked tired and leaned on the ropes, just like he did with Foreman. But he also landed strong punches that made Frazier slow down. In round after round, they fought like warriors. The crowd couldn't believe what they were seeing. By the 14th round, both fighters were exhausted. Ali had taken big hits, but Frazier's eyes were nearly closed. He couldn't see well, and his corner was worried. His trainer, Eddie Futch, made a hard decision. He stopped the fight before round 15 began. He told Frazier, "No one will forget what you did here today." Muhammad Ali won by technical knockout. After the fight, Ali didn't celebrate much. He was too tired. He said, "This was the toughest fight of my life." He even said Frazier was the greatest fighter I ever fought. The Thrilla in Manila became one of the most famous fights in boxing history. It showed not only their skill, but also their heart, pain, and willpower. Ali had won, but both men had given everything. They were forever linked in history. Two warriors who fought with pride. But time was catching up to Ali. His body was getting slower. He would keep fighting, but the years of punishment were starting to show. After the Thrilla in Manila, Muhammad Ali was still the world champion, but his body was getting weaker. He had taken many hits over the years, and the long, hard fights had started to affect his health. He continued to box for several more years. In 1978, he lost his title to a young fighter named Leon Spinks. But later that same year, he won it back. With that victory, Ali became the first person to win the world heavyweight title 3 times. It was a huge achievement, but it also marked the end of his best days in the ring. Ali retired from boxing in 1979, but money troubles and his desire to keep proving himself brought him back. In 1980, he fought a much younger champion, Larry Holmes. Ali was slow and not the same fighter anymore. Holmes beat him badly, and the fight was painful to watch. Even Holmes cried after the fight. He had looked up to Ali as a hero. Ali fought one last time in 1981 against Trevor Berbick and lost again. After that, he retired for good. Not long after he stopped boxing, Ali started to feel sick. He had trouble moving and speaking clearly. In 1984, doctors said he had Parkinson's disease, a condition that affects the brain and muscles. It made life harder for him, but he never gave up. Even with his illness, Ali stayed active. He traveled around the world to support peace and help people. He met presidents, kings, and poor children alike. He became a global ambassador for kindness, courage, and hope. He once said, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." One of the most touching moments came in 1996 at the Atlanta Olympic Games. Ali, with shaking hands, lit the Olympic flame. The whole world watched and cried. He was no longer just a boxer. He was a symbol of strength, love, and never giving up. Ali also worked for charities and helped raise money to find a cure for Parkinson's. Though he couldn't move or speak like before, his eyes still shined with spirit. On June 3, 2016, Muhammad Ali died at the age of 74. The world mourned his loss. Presidents, athletes, and millions of fans shared how he had inspired them. Ali was more than the greatest in the ring. He was a champion of the people. He stood up for his beliefs, even when it cost him everything. He fought for freedom, equality, and peace. His life showed us that true greatness is not just about winning. It's about courage, kindness, and standing tall, even when life tries to knock you down. Thank you for watching and learning with us. We hope you enjoyed the story of Muhammad Ali and learned something new in English. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more easy English lessons and inspiring stories. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember, you can be a champion too. See you in the next video.